hasn't ended. They just keep changing their face and put a new face on under a different name to keep people in the fog, in the smokescreen. In the same article, it goes on and says the IRA refused Protestant demands for disarmament. So over the years, the Protestants wanted peace, but the Catholic IRA refused peace. So it's right here in our news articles, people. We need to start putting pieces of the puzzle together. Check this article out. CNN, Hitler orders Pope kidnapped January 15, 2005 on CNN. Check it out yourself. Hitler ordered Pope kidnapped, but leading German general refused to obey orders, newspaper said. Vatican City, Reuters. Adolf Hitler gave one of his generals a direct order to kidnap the Pope during World War II, but the officer did not obey. And Hitler was betrayed by the Vatican. That's what Satan always does. They always betray one another, and he figured if he got a hold of the Pope here and kidnap him, he'll have a chance to survive. And this is the article here, how the general refused Hitler's orders. Let's do a little review here. Martin Luther exposed the deceptions of the Roman Catholic Church by his 95 Theses, the Bible versus the Church. This started the apostate movement called the Protestants. This created the army of the Pope. The Society of Jesus, known as the Jesuits, was formed to counter the apostates in 1540. Now we're going to get into the creation of the army of the Pope in 1540, the Jesuits. This is the first church of the Jesuits. It was given to the Jesuits by the Pope, Pope Paul III, and here's the outside of the building, and we will now take a tour inside. This is the painting inside the Jesuit church, depicts Pope Paul III bringing the Society of Jesus into official existence in 1540. This society became the Pope's army. This here is the Loyola, the first black general called the Black Pope of the Pope's army, and he's considered the white Pope, the infallible one we should worship, and he is the man behind the scenes that owns all the corporations of the world, all the banks, owns everything, and forces everybody to worship the infallible white Pope, which we will see. This new black Pope, named Loyola, created the Illuminati, a satanic organization to control the minds of the European leaders through hypnosis, witchcraft, and mind control. This black Pope, Loyola, communed with the spirit world for advice in setting up this powerful and evil organization. The spirits were actually demons controlled by Satan, illuminating his mind. Satan is called the angel of light. Loyola developed his spiritual exorcist to bring one into spiritual perfection. Through systematic meditation, prayer, contemplation, visualization, illumination, Loyola will go into trance, and he would teach others exactly how to do it step by step, how to get into witchcraft, New Age trance, meditation, prayer, and that's what we see around us right now. Himself. This is a photograph of inside the Church of Jesus, and we'll take a close look at the sun worship. Here you see the sun god, the Egyptian sun god, IHS, in the Church of Jesus. So you can see the sun worship is everywhere. This is the current black pope, or the current general of the Jesuits. His name is Peter Hans Kovenbach, and he was initiated back in 1983. You can find this article in Jesuit.org, official website of the Jesuits. And in this article, when this Kovenbach was elected the 29th Superior General of the Society of Jesus, the 33rd General Congregation of the Order, Father Kovenbach was elected at a very sensitive time in the society history. The white pope at the time, Pope John Paul II, wanted to put his own black pope in, but the society would not let the pope put his man in. So one of the first tasks was to mend fences with the Vatican and restore Vatican's confidence in the society, was this Pope's first duty. So you can see that this Pope here is not controlled by the infallible white Pope. As time went on, the Society of Jesus, the general, got so powerful with his army that he started to kill off the white popes that he did not like. Here's a prime example of the Pope lasting just 33 days in office, Pope John Paul I. He was killed in 1978. After only 33 days in occupying St. Peter's chair, this brave papal Caesar was poisoned by the Masonic agents of the Jesuits within Caesar's palace, the Vatican, found dead one morning by a nun, and there was never an autopsy, was never performed, and no official death certificate ever been issued. And that's what happens when you go against the Black Pope. He'll take you out and put a Pope in of his own choosing. The Vatican controls the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. It says right here, in July 1978, right after the Bilderberg meeting, the head of his family empire, John D. Rockefeller III, was murdered. Made it look like an accident. Likewise, in July of 1996, Rothschilds was found hanged in Paris. Both Rockefellers and the Rothschilds were killed on about the same day in July to send a message that assassins like anniversaries. So you see here the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds are nothing but the puppets of the Vatican whore. This is what researcher Eustace Mullins writes, that the Rothschilds took over all the financial operations of the worldwide Catholic Church in 1823. And there's his book and reference number, page 125. And as you look up Rothschilds in the Encyclopedia Judaica, in there it says that the Rothschilds bear the title Guardians of the Vatican's Treasury. Now you know where the Rockefellers and Rothschilds got their wealth. The Bible versus Catholic. True doctrine out of the Bible text versus false doctrine and the date that was introduced by the Catholic Church. There's one example. Call no man father, Matthew 23:9. The Pope is called Holy Father. The year was instituted 610. Another example, don't worship men, Acts 10:26. Kissing of the Pope's feet started in the year 709. Another one, leaders of the church must be married, 1 Timothy 2:5. Celibacy was imposed in the year 1079. No pray repeating, Matthew 6:7. The Rosary introduced in the year 1090. The last one I'll give you, only the Creator is infallible, Matthew 19:17. The Papal Infallibility, year 1870. So you can see the blasphemous between the Church and the Bible. This Catholic Jesuit was responsible for the greatest scientific evolutionary hoax. This French Jesuit priest, he was responsible for the Pit-Down Man hoax, called the greatest scientific hoax of the 20th century. He was also linked with the discovery of the strange disappearance of another ape-man, Pinky Man. So here we have these Jesuit priests that are responsible for some of the greatest evolutionary hoax, and they hide behind the mask of being a good Christian, and they're just the opposite. Here's the Jesuit father of vaccines. His name is Edward Jenner, and he wrote this book, and it says here, Jenner figured that very few people would actually read the book, but most would just look at the cover and make mental associations between smallpox and cowpox. Here's a photograph